Aaron, thanks for being on iFilm.
Thanks for having me.
As we look back over here, what's the first memory that strikes you of actually being on that set for that long?
Just merciless heat. It was
Come on. I mean, was it really non-glamorous?
I don't know if I'd use the word non-glamorous. I mean, the Hills Have Eyes it's all about glamour, really.
How so?
When you get down to it.
We're getting down to the crux of it. What Wes Craven left out the first time, the glamour's back?
Yeah, the glamour's back and in full effect. It's glamour, horror, blood, guts, action, everything you could possibly want out of a movie. That's what Hills Have Eyes is.
On a 1 to 10 creepy factor, what do you give Hills Have Eyes? Because it got, I thought, pretty good on the creepy scale.
Yeah, well, look, I have to give it a 10. I'm plugging the movie, but I thought it was pretty damn scary, you know.
Actually, back to this. Sometimes when you're 2 or 3 months on here, days kind of run into each other. Maybe is there something that happened out there offset that, you know, hey, some guy hurt his ankle, or some guy was bitten by a scorpion, anything, and even the set, the crew. Anybody have any trauma?
There was a great character on set who was known as the Scorpion Guy. His job was to walk around these hills while we were in them filming and make sure that he picked up any scorpions that he found or snakes that he found that were poisonous and could hurt anybody.
What kind of size are we talking about for scorpions?
Scorpions about that big. But this guy had been doing it. I think it's one of this. I think it's a generational thing. I think it was handed down generation to generation, and he was. I think he had developed an immunity to scorpion stings. But he'd do things. He'd do shows for you. He'd put scorpions in his mouth. He'd hold them in there, open it back up, and pull it out, and tell you the scorpion doesn't sting him because he's afraid of them.
Let me get this straight. So this guy's job on the set of Hills Have Eyes was to secure a parameter where no scorpions were near the set.
That's right.
Don't you think there's gotta be a rebellious scorpion that said, you know what, screw that guy, I'm gonna go around the backside?
The guy was sort of a mystic. You know what I mean? You kind of believed that he knew where all the scorpions and snakes were. I believed it. I bought it, man. You know, he came back with a bag full of snakes and scorpions every day. So.
Are you the kind of guy to go, or there's a scorpion, or would you be like, oh, geez?
I think depending on how close it was, I might go the OG's route, or if it was a safe enough distance, I think I'd be a little more mellow about it.
For die-hard horror fans who relish the original, what do you think in this one takes from the old one? I know that it's kind of changed up and been modernized.
Well, the spirit, the spirit of the film remains the same, and it's still about this ordinary family put in a very extraordinary situation. And that's obviously innately horrifying because you can identify with the characters. You say, I know these people are like me. You imagine yourself in those circumstances. So that's what it retains. And the interesting aspect that Alex brought to it was just this whole idea of these mining families that hid in the hills during the nuclear testing. And generations and generations of people living out in the desert and becoming more and more monstrous, more and more mutated, more and more feral and savage, until they turn into what they are. That's what Alex really brought to it.
The K&B special effects guys, Greg Nicotero, all these guys. Now, when these characters came out, did they actually hide them from you, or did they spring them on you, like, with cameras?
They didn't hide them. There was a period of time during the filming where I decided that I didn't want to see them until the scene. I said, hold these guys back. I don't want to get too used to them or too frightened by them. But honestly, the pace of the production of the filming made that impossible after a while, and eventually you're just sitting down having lunch with these guys. There's nothing for it.
With the scorpion, in and out.
Yeah.
Aaron, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.